Dear Nigeria, who buried your smile? I stand before a nation whose anthem has been drowned by the sound of siren, gunshot, and unanswered prayers. Nigeria, I no longer recognize your face. The giant of Africa now walks with a limb. A nation blessed with oil but cannot afford fuel. A nation rich in resources is bankrupt in compassion. A nation filled with churches and mosques now bleeding children into forest. Now tell me, how did we arrive here? When did going to school become an act of bravery? When did school uniform now become a burial cloth waiting for a date? When did parents start praying not for good grades, but for the safe return of their children? Because somewhere tonight, a mother is somewhere staring at an empty bed, waiting for the safe return of her child. Father is pretending to be alright, while his soul disappears in silence. And children who should be learning mathematics, reading stories and chasing dreams, are sleeping on the cold floor of a forest, counting gunshots instead of sheep. Hiding from men who has turned human life into business. And while the innocent families sell land, sell livestock, sell their future just to pay ransom for their loved ones, their captors parade money on social media, laughing, boasting, celebrating pain they did not earn, posting wealth soaked in tears, money stained with the fingerprint of fears, and somehow they cannot be found. Somehow they seem to move freely, while the innocent Nigerians moves in chains. Nigeria, who is protecting the people? Because it feels like everyone is protecting themselves. Who is guarding the future? Because futures is in the bushes. Who is leading? Because leadership without accountability is merely a power wearing a suit. We were promised hope. Instead, many received hardship. We were promised progress. Instead, many received survival. We were promised renewed dreams. Instead, many are renewing their suffering. The poor are becoming poorer. The middle class is now disappearing. The rich are building walls high enough to avoid hearing the cry outside. Every day, the price of food arises. The price of fuel arises. The price of both vitals and non-vital commodities is being skyrocketed every day, but the value of human life keeps falling. Now tell me, how did we get here? How does a nation become rich while its citizens are poor? How can the government celebrate statistics while mothers can't celebrate dinner? How do leaders sleep peacefully while the villager sleeps with one eye open? Nigeria, the wound is no longer bleeding. The wound has become the body. Corruption is no longer a visitor. It has become a landlord. And insecurity no longer knocks on the door, it lives inside the house. I remember when Nigeria marched during the time of Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. I remember when voices filled the street. I remember when people refused to be silent. But today, why is no one talking? When hunger becomes your roommate, revolution becomes expensive, when feeding your family becomes a miracle, resistance becomes a luxury. Yet silence cannot save us. It has never buried an injustice, it only buries evidence. And so I speak. Not with hatred, not with violence, but with heartbreak. The heartbreak of watching a beautiful nation slowly forget its reflection. The heartbreak of watching children grow, believing fear is normal. The heartbreak of watching dreams live through the airport, because hopes can no longer find accommodation here in Nigeria. Nigeria, your future deserves better. Your children deserves better. And yet history is recording. One day, the cries of the kidnapped children, the tears of grieving mothers, the frustration of unemployed youths, the pain of struggling families, the silence of a forgotten village will become witness. Because every generation is remembered for something. May ours not be remembered as the generation that watched Nigeria bleed so hard and call it politics. Nigeria, I still love you, and that is why it hurts me so deep down to my marrow. I still believe in you, and that is why I speak. And until the day justice walks freely through our streets, until children can return to school safely without fear, I will keep raising my voice for the kidnapped, for the forgotten, for the abandoned, for the hungry, for the grieving, for Nigeria. Because a nation may be wounded, but a nation must not be abandoned.